In this video, I'm going to explain to you how I get a 5x ROAS for my agency ads and scale to $2 million a year, where I've been able to hire dozens of people, travel around the world with my wife and my kids, and ultimately automate the business so that I can focus on what I love doing. You see, I'm a dad. I don't want to be sitting in front of my computer all day. But I am over here making this video because it hit me after being on the call with one of my students who was just racking his brain over how he can bring his cost per appointment down. Even though it was really qualified, he was confused and he was wondering, well, what does it really take? And then I shared with him something that I'm going to share with you in this video. So if you watch the whole thing, I'm guaranteeing you that this one nugget that I want to share with you is going to completely transform the way you look at Facebook advertising. It's going to drop your cost per acquisition. It's going to increase your ROAS, drop your cost per lead, drop your cost per appointment. Even though that's not necessarily something we always want to strive for, a drop cost per lead, because I'd much rather pay more for less leads than pay little for lots of unqualified leads that I have to sift through, okay? So with that said, let's dive in over here. You see, back in 2017, when I started my agency, I was relying on cold calling, I was relying on cold DMs and cold email to get on the phone with a bunch of local business owners. And a lot of the times, even if they would say yes to an appointment, they wouldn't show up because it was me going out to them, and ultimately they didn't value it as much as if they were coming to me. So in that vein, I decided, you know what, I would love to run Facebook ads. I would love to have people coming to me. And so what I did is I started running Facebook ads. And in that time, I was in an agency program, and I decided I'm just going to run some similar ads to what I see my peers in the agency program doing. So lo and behold, I launched a bunch of ads, really hopeful, really excited, and I spent about $6,000 to $7,000 and I made $0 in return. It was the most devastating thing ever for me. And to say that it tanked my confidence is an understatement. Here I was as a marketer, as an advertiser, not able to actually market and advertise my own business. And if you're watching this right now and you feel this way, that, hey, I have a marketing agency, yet I don't know how to, on autopilot, get my own clients through marketing, and I feel like a bit of an imposter, you're in the right place, because I felt that way for the longest time. So what did I do exactly? I decided to dive in and start learning about the actual principles of direct response and paid ads. And over time, I started realizing, you know what? There's one thing that all the best promotions out there back in the day had in common, whether it was for weight loss, whether it was for chiropractor, whether it was for new cars, whether it was for selling paint, and in this case, whether it's for selling agency services. And you know what that one thing is? It's a big idea. A novel, unique way to be looking at a problem. Something that's arresting, something that's startling. And I've seen so many great ads out there in the agency space as I've began teaching and as I've begun even working with some agencies to do for them their ads to help them grow and scale, and then place a media buyer and then help them bring things in-house. What I've realized and what I've learned in the process is that big ideas are very, very powerful, because the truth is that everyone out there knows that they could be running paid ads, they could be generating leads, they could be getting more appointments. Facebook is great, YouTube is great, Google is great, SEO is great. They all know that stuff, but they're so burnt out, they're so tired. In other words, they're very sophisticated in that they already know what's being offered out there. And so if we come out and we just say, hey, let's help you get some more, Invisalign patients, or let's help you get more roof replacements, or let's help you get more ceramic coating jobs, or let's help you get whatever it is that your niche is, some more personal injury cases, this stuff has already been said. It's already been promised. And there's a lot of people out there saying that we have like this on-demand system, or that blueprint, or this thing, or that thing. So how do we get around that fatigue? How do we get around the end prospect thinking and feeling that they've seen it all, they've heard it all, they know it all? Why are you any different? And that is through big ideas. So let me break this down for you. If you think about it, what is it really that made Netflix, for example, blow up? It was really this idea that I could have an entire library at my fingertips unlimited movies, unlimited TV shows for a simple monthly subscription that's equal to how much you would pay for maybe just 3 movies with, what was it, Blockbuster, or the old video rental services. A novel idea would be you being able to lose 15 pounds without giving up any of the foods that you love most. And so how can we essentially give people the thing that they want the most? And if it's roof replacements, for example, well, how can we get you roof replacements without you having to run ads, without you having to pay for leads, without you having to chase leads, without you having to book appointments and worry about no-shows? What if you could just pay when people actually show up to the appointment? And not only pay when people show up to the appointment, what if you actually only paid when you close the deal? That's why revenue share as an offer is very, very powerful. It's novel, it's new, it's different, because a lot of people in a lot of industries only get paid after they get the job done. So why should marketers be any different? That's actually how I operate personally. Everything that I do, whether it's coaching, whether it's client work done for you, I only get paid after I produce results. And that's how I never run out of business, because not a lot of people are willing to make that offer, because not a lot of people can back it up with results. So a big idea ultimately revolves around you bringing some novel, unique approach to the market, where we can say that maybe through some sort of a unique mechanism, right? Learn Spanish by watching Netflix. That's interesting. How does that work? How can I do that? There's actually an application out there, I believe, that runs this offer where they have a Chrome extension, and it not just gives you subtitles in Spanish or to Spanish TV shows in English, but it also makes it fun in some way where it's memorable, and it actually becomes a bit more interactive. So how can we bring a novel approach? And so a big part of this as well as an agency would be to see what our competition is doing out there and saying, and then not copying that, not doing that. Because you see, in the market right now, the trust is at an all-time low point. And if trust is at an all-time low point, how could it be conceivable that someone would be willing to click on your ad just because you look different? Not really. It's going to take something a little bit different. So novelty can also come from different elements within the ad, right? I'm using a prop right now. It's like, what is this? Is it like a tree? Is it, what is it? So this is a keychain I found it in the home that we're currently living in Panama, and I'm just using it as a prop. It's novel, it's different, right? It's creating intrigue. And maybe that's why you clicked on this video, and I finally answered the question that, hey, it's a keychain. I think it's probably like a flower or something that's represented in like rope form. I found that in creating big ideas, I like going to other industries that are potentially adjacent or even potentially completely different to what I'm in, and then seeing what they're doing, what's getting traction. I mean, there's tools out there like Power Ad Spy that can be used and can be leveraged to basically find new and novel ideas, and they can be applied to your niche as well. So start trying to use big ideas. Think to yourself, is this something new? Is this something novel? Is there a unique approach to solving the problem that I'm bringing to the table over here? And in many ways, a big idea in itself, I found, is also just simply restating the problem for what it actually is. That, hey, you think you've bought leads, you've tried SEO, you've tried paid ads, but the truth is, who you tried it with, were they really the most qualified? Did they understand your niche? Did they understand your needs? Did they understand who you really are? It's kind of like going to a general practitioner and saying, hey, I have heart palpitations, help me, give me medication. Well, they're going to refer you to a specialist if they're half good at their job. But the generalist that looks at you and says, yeah, just drink some more water, you're not going to necessarily get the results that you're looking for. You need to go to a specialist. And so this is the issue that a lot of people in your industry are facing right now, is they're going to generalists when what they really need is a specialist. And I'm not sitting over here convinced saying that I'm actually going to have the solution to your problems, but I have helped this client and this client and this client like you, get this result and this result and this result like what you really want. So go ahead and click the link below. You see, an ad like this, it's actually just reframing the problem for what it actually is. Hey, roofing contractors, you want to get more jobs and what you're focusing on is buying leads, but what if I told you leads is actually the reason why you are failing and not making money? In fact, if you continue to buy leads, it could be the single-handed reason why your business has to actually shut its doors down in 2025, or it could be the very reason why you lose good sales reps in 2025. You see, this is a novel approach. It's like, what? Hold on. I thought leads equal business. Why are you telling me that this is the reason why my business is going downhill? Moms, if you want to go ahead and lose, 2 sizes off of your waist, I'm going to tell you something that may just rock your socks. So are you ready for this? It's actually the diets and the exercise that's causing you to actually gain weight rather than losing it. You know how I can say that? Because I myself was overweight back in 2017, struggling to lose weight, and I was going into the gym and I was eating all these diets and I just kept putting on weight. Or in the worst case, I just wasn't losing any of it at all. And it was confusing me and I was wondering why it is this way. So you see how I'm bringing a novel idea, a new approach to the way that we can see ads, just by saying that the problem that you have isn't the real problem. This is the real problem. So I hope that this was helpful. I have a free school community in which I am getting on one-on-one calls, and I'm also getting on group calls every single week to answer ad questions. If you want to hop on there, it's really quite simple. Check the link in the description or the link in the comment. Join the free school community, and I'll see you on the other side.